So guys, the Eagle has just landed here on Kasuku Talent Show. The host of his own Tonight Live with Dr. Ofwanike, one of the most sought after MCs and an internationally funny comedian.
Woo!
Please welcome Dr. Ofwanike.
Oh, thank you so much. That part international is what I was looking for. I hope my mom has been watching.
Welcome.
She needs to now recognize that I've made it. Mommy, I'm everywhere international.
So Ofwanike, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Techno Miles, and of course, Queen Elizabeth, aka Queen B, Beyonce. She's just been looking all the time like, I don't need to say anything. My beauty has it all. Don't I end up that kind of a situation?
So, Dr. Ofwanike.
Yes.
When did you realize that I am actually a funny man and I can make money from this funniness of mine?
Let me tell you, realizing that you're a funny man, there are people in the village who will tell that you're funny. But then also you yourself, you can tell yourself, you can actually recognize whether you're funny or not. But then the problem is with comedy, at times you think you're funny with the stories you give around with people around you, only for you to realize when you're given a stage and a microphone, things change the other way around. I was never to do comedy as such. In fact, if I was to ever, because I used to sing, I actually used to be in the choir.
With that voice you would
Yeah,
say.
if I start singing here, things will be breaking here.
Spare. Thank you, Dr. Ofwanike.
Then, if I was ever gonna get into the entertainment industry, I was gonna get in probably as an artist. But then again, the kind of family I come from, with my kind of an African father from an African house, arts was never really something to talk about, because my dad is a Bokwama. So for us, it was an argument. If we nursery into primary, into high school, into law school. And that is exactly what I did. After I cleared high school, got into law, started doing law. And but deep down I always felt, because I'm very artistic, I'm talkative, I'm a happy soul, I'm always up and down, jumping from the table, from one seat to the other. I knew deep down there's another passion that kept on pulling me. And I remember back in high school, I used to have something called the Bullseye, whereby I would do a compilation of the events that have been happening in the course of the week. Probably Weekend Challenge, probably Science Congress, probably Music Festival, probably Parents' Day, probably guys have been fighting in the DH and throwing debris all over the... So I would just do a compilation, and on Friday, I did it on parade. And guys used to love it, guys used to laugh. So I remember this day, I was just making fun in class, and the teaching duty got me and took me to the principal's office, and I guess everybody expected for me to be punished, only for the principal to put some coffee in the cup, and he put me down, sat me down, and told me, "Young man, you probably could be having a talent in comedy, and you've not really thought about it seriously." But I brushed it off because thinking of my dad again, that was out of the question. But getting into university, I think after 1 year, I just felt like, I remember one day I told my lecturer, "Can I go to the washrooms?" And I picked up my bag, and he asked me, "Do you need your bag?" I said, "Yes, the tissue papers are inside the bag, so I need to go with the bag." And that was my last time ever in class. And I wrote my dad a message, told him, "Dad, I've taken a long academic break."
The same African dad.
The same African dad. You can imagine the kind of challenge I was putting myself into. It was already hell. So right now, even if you take me to hell, I'd be like, this is a TBT. There's nothing you're telling me. So I remember either his phone doesn't have network, or his phone is still off, because he has never replied that SMS until today, telling that I took a long academic break. And he was very stern. My dad is a very strict guy. And I remember I even at some point I tried being a conductor, number 9, number Ekibera Railways, and until one day I saw my dad somewhere inside the matatu. I was just busy collecting. Hey, Buddha, hey, where am I?